Hello and welcome to Mad Men Sports Podcast, presented by Black Button Distilling. On 149 Swan Street, stop into your local tasting room, or if you're in Rochester, on 85 Railroad Street. That's off the top.
Whoa.
Stop in, grab yourself a gift card, give a gift card. Don't be stuck giving a candle for the Christmas season. Give Black Button. Guys, welcome to a podcast all about the Buffalo Bills. The playoff Buffalo Bills. Clinched and in. The hat said so. Special order. Straight from the Bill store. Got it in. Limited edition. Jake, how we feeling today, baby? I'm Zach. This is Jake. That's Dave.
Diamond.
He hasn't deserved his diamond this week.
I'm doing great, Zach. The Buffalo Bills have clinched the playoffs. What more can you ask for? I mean, at worst case scenario,
Super Bowl. That's what I want.
Fifth seed. We go against the Patriots.
Nope, not yet. Well, this week.
This
yes.
week,
All
yes.
right,
This is the pregame podcast.
Think about the podcast. You're right.
This is the podcast.
Think about the playoffs. I want more. I want the playoffs to happen already.
David, what's going on, man?
Who's that?
David.
It's Diamond Dave.
David.
That's what my contract says.
Come on, Dave.
You don't have a contract.
What's up, guys?
Nothing, Dave. Nothing.
Dave's having an off day today, guys. You know who's not having an off day?
Fighting off camera.
Trey White. We're having a Trey party today, guys. And when you're having your Pro Bowl party this year, think of Trey.
Trey Day.
Trey White. Not only did he make the Pro Bowl, he's a starter. What more could you ask for out of that?
A 3-time Diamond winner.
That's true, and probably more to come. He is easily the most deserving player on the Buffalo Bills when it comes to who should start in the Pro Bowl. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're definitely right. I mean, his level of play has been outstanding this year.
Unbelievable.
I mean, you don't hear a lot about him, and that's just because quarterbacks don't throw his way.
You hear about him a lot on this podcast.
And
that's for damn sure.
I mean, to Devlin Hodges' mistake, threw to Trey White a lot.
Don't do it.
Came up with 2 picks.
Don't do it. Easiest thing to learn as playing a quarterback going against the Bills' defense is you don't throw it.
Yeah, I'll say it once again. I'm not really on the hype train like everyone else all the time, but he needs to be considered for Defensive Player of the Year. He has the numbers for it. He's been a shutdown corner. I just hope he stays consistent this way and doesn't fall in the Josh Norman category, which he probably won't.
Which Josh Norman only got bad when he left McDermott. McDermott breeds good corners at this point. Listen, Trey White, this is all the power to him. He deserves this. He deserves the spotlight that comes with being a starter in the Pro Bowl. He deserves it all. Now, there's a bunch. There's a laundry list of Bills that are alternates. We could get into that all day. We probably could. We might not, should. I don't think we should talk about every single one. Let's just keep it simple. Diamond Dave, who do you feel was snubbed from the Pro Bowl this year? At least from the Bills.
I think the back half of our defense, White
made it.
White deserved
He made it
to be in there. But Poyer and Hyde, I know you said one player, but those two are just – they'd be lost without each other. They're both deserving. I think they're the reason where our defense is as good as it is, even more than White. Those two got snubbed, I think, pretty hard.
Yeah, and Hyde didn't end up getting one of those, I think there's 8 or 9 alternates for the Bills. Hyde didn't end up on that list. A little surprising to me.
No.
But Poyer is the 5th alternate for the safeties.
It is hard because only 3 safeties make it in the AFC. And the 3 that made it are very deserving.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Poyer is just a ball hawk, and Hyde is all over the place. Quarterbacks, I guarantee, are scared of Hyde.
Poyer gets a ton of tackles.
I believe both of those, not only should be pissed off, but they should be lacking. They should go out there this week and remind them who they are, Brady who they are.
Jake, who do you think was snubbed from being a Pro Bowler for the Bills?
I'm going to have to say it's Jordan Phillips. There's only one interior defensive lineman that has more sacks than Jordan Phillips. So with his level of play, he's really kind of stepped up this year. It's kind of disappointing to see him not get that recognition that he deserves. I mean, it's tough. I mean, you have really good defensive linemen that did make the Pro Bowl. But, I mean, hey, it's just going to kind of give him more motivation to play well this Sunday, and I think against the Jets as well.
Yeah, and if you look at the people that did make it, again, in that position, those are all name players. Those are all – a lot of these positions, a lot of the Pro Bowler is just a popularity contest and people that have gone constant years. We go back to the thing we always talk about is Reuben Brown, who's been in 8 or 9 times. Did he deserve to get in 8 or 9 times? I don't know. Probably not. But it's just – that's why the Pro Bowl matters, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really it's one of those things that they look back on when it's Hall of Fame time, and they say, oh, he's made it a certain amount. It also matters for contract situations, which is why the Jordan Phillips thing is kind of a good thing because he doesn't have that to leverage over us right now. Jordan Phillips could still get in. A lot of the players that do get selected to the Pro Bowl don't even go. Actually, most of the teams that go deep in the playoffs in the second round usually don't go because they just want the time off. They have the recognition, then there's no reason to play in the game. There's no reason to get hurt in the game. So a lot of the players, I would guarantee at the end of this, the Bills have at least 5 players in the Pro Bowl. And a lot of the players, who knows, maybe even White doesn't want to go.
I think he wants to go.
See, I think this is why I say why he deserves it. Trey White is a big-time player that on any other team in any other city would be all over, chunky commercials, he'd be on Wheaties boxes, maybe. I don't know if they still make... I don't know how cereal's not phased out in the diet anymore, but whatever. Trey White is a big personality. He deserves this opportunity to go to Orlando, show out in a very individualized game. He deserves this recognition. Listen, it's not like we're going to lose him after this week or this season even. Like, we got him, for a couple more years here, and we got, we're pretty much good on bringing him back. No one's scared of that, I'd say, in Buffalo. Let him go enjoy this. He deserves to soak this up because he has been here. He is literally the cornerstone, the first person of the new era. I mentioned this on Sunday. He is the first page of the McDermott chapter, was bringing in Trey White, and he deserves this, as this is kind of rolling into something special for McDermott and the Buffalo Bills and Brandon Beane and everything they've built. He deserves to be the first one hoisted into it because he was the first one in this door when the era was going to change over. So Trey White deserves this more than anyone.
Yeah, and less about the Pro Bowl and more about Trey White. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, I see it as Trey White's going to kind of rewrite the market for cornerbacks when he has to sign. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I've been looking at the numbers. There's a lot of numbers out there. I'm surprised how much cornerbacks are getting paid, honestly. But when it comes down to it, I don't think you can't lowball him. And he deserves every penny he's gotten so far.
Yeah, the concerning thing is down the line, besides receivers, cornerback's the one position that usually hold out. So they hold out because they want the big money. They usually get the big money, but it's usually a long, drawn-out process. So I don't see White doing that, but I believe Beane will pay the guys that need to be paid, and I think White might be on the top of his list right now.
Yeah, the Bills have $90 million going into next cap offseason. And everyone wants to say, like, oh, you got to make sure you pay your own guys. You can't dip into free agency. Listen, you're going to pay your own guys, but no matter how many guys you have on this roster, you're not going to fire through $90 million in one offseason. That's not something they've done. That's not something that you could even possibly do with Milano, White, Dawkins, Poyer, I believe, is up for a contract this season. Those guys aren't going.
Feliciano.
Those guys aren't eating up $90 million. There's going to be so much money still to give out that you could go and get a normal wide receiver if you want. I don't think that's the route I should take. We're going to have a whole offseason to talk about that. But to say that you should hold back in free agency because of you need to pay your guys is completely overrated at this point. You have $90 million.
Yeah, and
that's something Dr. Evil puts his pinky up to his mouth about.
There is a lot of guys on the team that are, like, I don't know about dead weight, but there's a lot of guys on the team that can go, too. So there's going to be some empty slots on this roster that we're going to need to fill.
And it's going to be really interesting to see how Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott are going to take the next step in their maturation process. We've seen them go through the draft. They find gems. Now we now see that they're going through free agency and finding guys that can play. It's going to be a kind of the thing to see on whether or not they can kind of keep this team together for the long haul. A nice hat, by the way.
Sorry, I'm just...
Great hat. Tell them about the hat real quick.
I'm still talking about the hat. We got the 2019 Buffalo Bills playoff hat.
We haven't had one of those in a minute, huh?
Just a year, 2 years ago. Now the big thing is...
I don't think they made them.
I believe they're sold out at the Bills store. I pre-ordered mine Sunday night after the game. But, yeah, these are awesome. Go get yours. These are incredible. I love it. I'm so excited about the playoffs. You know what? I hate to talk about this. I want to get ready for the Patriots, but let's have a little chit-chat about this as well. Now, 2 years ago, we did make the playoffs. We only really had 1 week to savor that. This is so much different. Like, obviously, the big party on New Year's Eve, the quick week to celebrate it, and it was kind of slipping through the fingers. You had a boring 10-3 loss to the Jags. But this one you can kind of sit on for, we have this week, the following week. You have 3 weeks to really enjoy being in the playoffs, being a playoff team. You can hang your hat on it, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is awesome. Get your playoff merchandise. Wear it to the Jets game. Wear it around town for 3 weeks. And who knows? Maybe you'll even be able to wear it after the wild card. Keep going. Keep playing. Enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? This is way different than 2 years ago. You can enjoy this one and savor it a little longer.
Yeah, and to make a point what you had just said, it is a lot different than 2 years ago. I am very confident in this Bills team that they can make a run deep into the playoffs. I mean, our offense has definitely seen its improvements since the last time we were in the playoffs. Our defense, they're winning us games, and we're sneaky good. We still hear the national media not giving us the respect that we deserve. Good. Every week, I'm so excited to see when Pro Football Focus, ESPN, they all think that the Bills are going to lose. You see it across your screen. Patriots.
Little throwback. I'm just thinking about when the Bills made the Pro Bowl or the
Pro Bowl
playoffs 2 years ago. Remember how fun that was?
It was a good time.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was a fun night.
Oh, it was fun at the airport on Sunday. That's for damn sure.
That was.
Dave experienced it for his first time. Dave, how'd you enjoy the airport? Diamond Dave, how'd you enjoy the airport?
It was an experience for sure. It felt like, it was an experience. I'll keep everything else to myself, but it was a fun experience. It was fun to see the players. It was fun to see them interact. A lot of people being very vicious to Josh Allen's car, which I experienced. The cops are very patient. There was just a lot of people there.
What was your favorite part?
Frank Gore took it upon himself to open up his car roof and just dance with the fans, and he was just
sunroof. I just pictured Frank Gore like, fucking, I'm ripping this shit.
It was fun. It was an experience for sure. Do I think I'll do it again? Is that the next question?
He will.
Yes,
He will.
Yeah. I will.
When they win on Saturday, he'll be there with us at 10:15, partying.
So yeah, it was definitely fun. It was an experience. It was good to see. Frank Gore looked like he was in college again, just living life.
It's really crazy because we've been there twice now, and we used to go back, and when 2 years ago we went, and the last 2 times we've been there, it's been really fun to see a guy that's a Hall of Famer like Frank Gore really soak in the fans of Buffalo. A guy that he's huge. He's a Hall of Famer, the 3rd all-time in rushing, and he is living it. I haven't seen Frank Gore. Now, I've only followed him very, casually and throughout his whole career, even back in Miami. I've never seen him that happy, that jubilant, him living in that moment like that. Like, he was a common folk. It was awesome. He's enjoying it twice in a row. I mean, I've high-fived Frank Gore 2-3 weeks in a row, but it's not about that. It's about just showing your support. Listen, it's little weird being there at 2:30 in the morning in 20-degree weather, high-fiving it, and just cheering these guys on. But you know what? We have a podcast twice a week about these guys.
Yeah.
The least we can do is show our support. Be there, be excited, and just be happy. Like, I want to show them how much the Bills mean to us. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
And I had like a kind of little weird conversation with Dean Marlowe. He rolled down his window and says, "Man, you guys are crazy." I really appreciate you guys for this.
He said, "Wow, you madmen are crazy," and I don't know why he said that.
Not specifically, but I mean, it goes to show. I mean, you have Frank Gore, who's been in the league forever. Do you think he's ever seen this?
No. Not a chance.
Leslie Frazier was saying that he's been on teams that go 12-3, 15-1, and he's never seen anything like that. Guys, as Bills fans, we are
proud of that,
the
honestly.
best fan base, bar none. I mean, you just don't see that anywhere else.
And honestly, yeah, it's a little crazy, but you should be proud of the fact that you care about this team, you care about football, you care about the Bills so much that you're willing to do this, sacrifice your sleep. I mean, listen, the Bills are important to Buffalo. They are a part of the lifestyle. That's no surprise to any of us. They're important to Bills fans all across the country. It's a blue-collar, hardworking mentality, and we're willing to go there and just show our support, just like we would on any home game. But it's awesome. The Bills travel well, and when they come home, we're here to take them up too. I mean, we love the Bills.
So next is a little segue. On next week, let me tell you something about me. Star Wars comes out. The Evil Empire. Luke Skywalker's getting killed. Or the Skywalkers, whatever, are dying. Anyways, the point
Spoiler alert.
The point is,
Jesus.
Vader,
R.I.P.
the
Tony
Evil
Stark.
Empire. We're playing them this week. Rey Skywalker's going out there to try to kill the
That's
Evil
not
Empire.
a spoiler. We don't know that.
Anyways, Evil Empire. We all hate the Patriots.
I don't think she's a
Let's talk
Skywalker.
Patriots, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we have a tall task this week. I mean, the Patriots,
Isn't
whether
it
we
tall
like it or
task
not.
anymore? We're both
Historic.
double-digit wins.
It is until we beat them.
It's double-digit wins. No, I'm tired of being scared of them. You want to call them the Dark Lord, whatever, the Sith, Voldemort, whatever it is.
Voldemort.
They're more Voldemort because they're,
They're
bad
gross.
guys, excuse me. But listen, there's no longer a need to be scared of the Patriots. It's time for make the Patriots sweat. Now on Sunday, Dave said, take it a little easy, heal up, don't get hurt the last 2 weeks. The more I sat on that, and not even that, just the idea of that, you have to put the pressure on the Patriots here. You need to go win in Gillette Stadium. You need that just for your psyche as the Bills going into the playoffs. You need to be able to think to yourself, you have a 6-1 away record. Go out there, make it 7-1. Okay? Am I right?
No, definitely.
This team is 2 field goals by Stephen Hauschka away from being 7-0 on the road right now. This team is a bunch of road warriors. Go to Gillette. Make the Patriots have to, and I mean have to, sweat out the final seconds in the whole game even of that Miami game. Make them work for that Miami victory. Because if you lose on Saturday, okay, fine, but you have to give it your best shot. You have to give it your best shot to try to win that division because they've clinched, you've clinched. After week 17, one of you guys are going to be playing the following week. Don't let them have 2 weeks off. Go into Foxboro, go into Gillette Stadium, and try to give them a run for their money. Don't let them rest easily.
This is a team that played the Bengals last week and struggled in the first half.
Absolutely.
They woke up in the second half. They struggled in the first half a lot. Their defense was
Bengals
not
have one
their
win.
defense was not their defense of old or the rest of the season. They woke up in the second half. So if we get up early on this team, I feel like we can make some moves. Offense does not scare me. We'll talk about Edelman in a minute. Their offense does not scare me. It lacks weapons. They do the little dink and dunk passes to James White, Sony Michel, whatever
Rex
Antonio Smith, whatever running back they got out of their back pocket that they're still using. I know, Zach. And Brady needs to do that because he can't get hit. It's the same mentality with the Giants. Hit Brady. Make long passes.
I want stands.
We need to start doing that.
Me too.
So this week, I think McDermott's we all trust McDermott. He's
Absolutely.
the guy.
1,000.
I bet you he's right now still watching film, getting ready for
I bet
the
he's
Patriots.
listening to us right
Because
now.
he wants to beat this team. So our defense is hot. The team's fired up. We have momentum. I know it does exist, and we're going out there, and I believe this team will be ready. I'm usually the guy. We're gonna lose. I think that I feel good about this game.
The Keebler Elves and momentum are two things that don't exist.
So, Jake, tell me a little bit about Edelman.
Well, I don't want to talk just about Edelman here. I want to talk about kind of their defense. I mean, we're all aware they have a decent defense. I mean, Stephon Gilmore, one of the best players in the league.
We know him very well.
Yes, but let's talk about their defense as well. They do have a stout defense. No surprises there. They allow on average 4.5 yards per play, and they're kind of keeping teams with a 23% third down completion too. So
That's where Josh shines too.
they do, and that's something to be look out. You want to look at the third downs this week, specifically 3rd and 8. I mean, we hear that stat maybe 5 times a game when we're watching on TV, but it's going to be really important for Josh to test the Patriots defense head on. I mean, screw it. Throw at Stephon Gilmore more than once. I don't care. I don't know.
We're going to need to see Josh Allen play a different game than when he played against Pittsburgh. Now, do I want him to take as many risks as he did in the first game when he's throwing up whatever balls and getting all those interceptions? No. I think he's a different player. But I want to see the same mentality he had in Week 4. I don't want him seeing the same. I don't want to see the same mistakes he made in Week 4. I want to see him make the same type of, motions, the type of not ideas, but I want to see him attack the game the same way. Now, the Patriots have lost 2 out of the last 3 games. They struggled in the first half, just like David said, against a 1-win team. This is a Buffalo team that just came off a primetime, high-pressured game in order to clinch their playoff spot against a team that was on their tails, now a 2-game lead on them, for that playoff spot. The Bills are now tested. The Bills have played against 5 out of the top 10 passing defenses, and the Patriots are one of those. Josh Allen doesn't have the most sexiest stats. Doesn't have the sexiest stats, but he is tested And that's a part of his maturation process that he can now carry into next season, the playoffs, the final 2 games of this season. I want to see Josh Allen attack this game and attack this defense because at this point, you don't have much to lose. Sure, you could go win the division, but put the ball in their court, and I want to see Josh Allen kind of step up to this team knowing that he's got a safety net of at least he's going to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, do you want to hear something funny?
I want to hear jokes.
We talk about how Josh Allen is very inaccurate. We think Tom Brady is being the opposite, very stable with the ball. Josh Allen, his completion percentage is 59.28%. Tom Brady's 60.3%. They're not far off. I mean, I understand that people like to dog Josh Allen. I think he is where he needs to be at the end of his second year. On the flip side, you obviously see Tom Brady kind of on the decline there. So it's interesting to kind of see the comparison between the two quarterbacks, a superstar on his downfall and a superstar on the rise.
It's funny because people think that this is – people keep saying this is Brady's worst year too, so it's funny how that works.
Yeah.
It's funny how his worst year is Josh Allen doing pretty well. It's funny how that works.
Exactly, and you kind of see how the media spins
it's sad,
that.
actually. That's actually – I'm kind of down about that stat.
Listen. Someone on the internet – I frequent the internet. I'm not going to be honest with you guys. I frequent the internet, and someone on the internet said it's funny how the Bills act when they're 10-4, and how the Patriots act when they're 11-3. We had so little success for 20 years, and then obviously before 1987, this franchise isn't built as a very successful one. But the Patriots, however, are like the spoiled brats of the league at this point. They're cheating against a team that has 1 win. I said I wasn't going to bring it up. I accidentally brought it up. But they're cheating against a 1-win team. They're mad that they have 3 losses. This is a team that was, 8-0, 9-0 in the beginning of the season. That's how they started, right? Mm-hmm. And now they're freaking out. You know, Tom Brady's having a down year. It's time to just crush these New Englanders, crush the Patriots, go into Foxboro, win this game, give them a run for their money. Let them know that you can't just act like this is going to slide anymore. You need to put the pressure on them this week. Make Week 17 count for them. Don't let them rest their starters. Do you guys agree with that one? Don't let them have 2 weeks of rest. That's all I care about. Make them have to play.
I agree, but I also don't want the Bills to break their back here. I want them to
break your back.
You've gone the whole season without getting hurt. If the game's getting out of hand, let it get out of hand. Be done with it. We know we're a good team. We know what we have. We're in the playoffs. Next week, give the fans a little bit what they wanted the first half, and then set the stars. It's the time. It is time, and maybe this is something fun you guys can comment on. I think it is time to sit down and relax a little bit. Be competitive this game. But if it gets out of hand, it gets out of hand. And the fans need to relax. Everyone needs to relax. We're in the playoffs, regardless of what happens. It's been a while since we've been in this position. Sure, I want to beat the Patriots. I'm not saying I don't want to beat the Patriots. But if we don't, it's not the end of the world, and it's a comfortable feeling.
There's not a chance. I'm going to say this out loud. There's not a chance that this game's a blowout on Saturday. Not a chance. The Bills have had it happen once this season against the Eagles, but that was just because they got buried in the trenches both ways.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
I don't think there's a chance. There's a 6.5-point spread on this game, and I think the Bills might win by a touchdown or lose by a touchdown. I think that spread's pretty accurate, and I think it go either way because this defense keeps both of their teams in any game. That's fair to say, except for maybe the Baltimore game for the the Patriots, and then vice versa, the Eagles game for the Bills.
All right, a little Mad Men by the numbers?
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, as of every week, Mad Men by the Numbers is sponsored by Prima Pizza Pasta. It is on West Chippewa Street. They're open 6 days a week. Definitely check them out for their daily lunch specials. Who are we looking out for, Zach?
Say hi to Kevin. Actually, I went by the Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino to place my first bet on the Bills, of course, last Sunday. Saw Kev there relaxing, kicking back some Coors Lights, and he said he was listening to the podcast. Appreciates the shout-out every week. So thank you, Kevin. Good to hear from you.
If you're getting some pizza on Saturday for the Bills game, they are going to be open. So stop in.
They are the rare open game. So, Jake.
All right, Jake, hit me.
Let's do it. So, going back to what I was talking about earlier with Josh Allen and Tom Brady having those similar completion percentage, Who's going to take care of the ball more? I mean, you look at both teams have a really great defense. I mean, Stephon Gilmore is picking off balls left and right. We know what the Bills have in their defense. So who has a more successful day in terms of completions, in terms of turnovers? I don't care about yards. I don't care about touchdowns. Just taking care of the ball.
So your question is, who picks more balls?
Who's going to take care of the ball more?
Okay. Tom Brady likes to take risks against the Bills because I think there's a part of Tom Brady that if he were to ever, and if he ever does lose to the Bills, he throws a fit. It's one of the worst experiences he has, honestly. I'm going to say that Brady takes more risks than Josh Allen in this game because of how much it is important to the Patriots' success and how the Bills are kind of breathing down their neck. I think Tom Brady takes a bunch of risks. I think he turns it over a little bit more. We might see a little bit more of that Trey White action, if you know what I'm saying.
And that's going to be fantastic to see Trey White kind of respond after getting that Pro Bowl nod.
Especially how the big game he had on Sunday. You know, he came out the gate with the Trey White Goalie Academy. He's following it up with the 2-pick game. I mean, this is quite the week for Trey White. Roll it over. You know, they're making you play Sunday. They're making you turn around and play Saturday. That's 1 week. Continue this week for Trey White. I think he gets his picks.
Perfect. Dave, what do you think?
I think actually the opposite of what Zach said. I think Brady's in the position he's at because he doesn't take risks. I think he's scared this year. He's not playing comfortably. He has no confidence in his receivers. So I think Josh Allen's the one out there taking risks. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's okay to make mistakes, and it's also okay to make some big plays. More than not, when you throw the ball deep, you get pass interference. So the question is not who gets more yards, who gets more touchdowns, it's who makes more mistakes. I think it's Brady because that's the kind of position we're at this year. He has no confidence in his receivers. He doesn't really do much outside of 10 yards anymore. So I do think that Brady probably makes more mistakes. I think Allen's going to be more successful because he has more trust in his receivers and tight ends and running backs.
Dave, you just put my brain in a KitchenAid mixer right there.
And I always will.
No free ads.
You start off by saying that Josh Allen's going to take risks. And
I didn't. I said that Brady does not take risks. And in that case, the second he does, he's going to try to take a risk, and he's going to screw up. He has no faith in his receivers. I think Brady's at a very miserable part of his career right now.
I think he's at the end of his career, at least at the end of his career with Belichick as his coach. I don't think they get along well.
I think he's his last year of New England.
I have the final question for Man by the Numbers.
Final question.
The point spread right now sits at, the over-under of this game sits at 37.5. That's very low, and both of these teams average, like the defenses average less than 16 points allowed for their game each. Dave, do you think it goes over 37 points or under 37 points?
Before I answer that, can you tell me what the weather is, Jake?
Eat the half.
25 degrees.
25 degrees.
3
So it's probably
miles per hour
it's
winds.
a very cold game.
Good memory.
Probably nighttime too. Well, definitely
I
nighttime.
had the best memory.
No, I don't think. I think it stays about there.
Life's too short to bet the under.
So, Dave, you're going over on that game?
No, I'm going under.
I'm
Under?
going over.
Wow, I don't know. I don't. The Bills put up 17 points against a very good defense in Pittsburgh. They put up even more points against Denver. They've been standing up well, sticking to their game plan, making adjustments when they need to against good defenses. I mean, this team put up, I can't remember the Baltimore score. Was it 17 points they put up against Baltimore?
Yeah.
Field goal and 2 touchdowns? No, 1 touchdown, 10 points. So, yeah, they scored 10 points against Baltimore. I think Devin Singletary scored. Look that up for me real quick. I'm losing my train of thought. I think Singletary might have scored in that game.
24 to
17
17.
points, yeah. So they scored 17 points in that game. They hold up well against good defense. I think the Bills, in order to win it, I think this is a race to 17 points. First team to score 17 points wins. So I'm going to go under because that's 27 points, I think, in this game. I think we get 27. I'm going under on this game. Guys.
Player to watch for.
Diamond Dave. Who do you think might be your potential diamond in the rough?
So I talk about this all the time. I talk about how White, Poyer, and Hyde, I'm a big fan of all three of those. I'm a huge fan, actually. I think those three are the best three combinations in the league. But there is a weak point there. Levi Wallace is a weak point. Kevin Johnson is a weak point. I want someone to take that job and take it by the balls and own it.
Jesus Christ.
I want to have a good feel for next season. I want Kevin Johnson to take the job. I'm down on Levi Wallace right now. Kevin Johnson's gone in. He's the veteran guy. Goes out there and does his job. I want him to go out there and own the job so we feel comfortable going in next season. I want to see Kevin Johnson either cover, whether it's Sanu, Edelman, Henry, the Nikhil guy, whatever his name is. I want him to go out there. I want whoever's being covered, I want them to own the ball. We all know the 3 back people have a job. I want to see Kevin Johnson take his job and own it this week.
They took my job.
I think that player's got to be Dawson Knox. I mean, we saw a decrease in his playing time last week.
Drops will do that.
Drops will do it. But, hey, he's a young guy. He's going to bounce back, and I look for Dawson Knox to make a big contribution.
Yeah, he has a chance to take the starting job and own it next season. He's got to outplay Croft again. Croft had, obviously, the touchdown everyone's talking about, but this is nothing since before that.
He's done nothing in the last 3 days.
Dawson Knox has a chance.
He's on ice.
Knox has a chance to be the number 1 guy next season.
Listen,
he has 2 games to show it.
I think these tight ends are starting to come into their own. They're
playoffs.
starting to find their way into this offense.
season.
It's really cool. Really cool to see these tight ends actually work because I think years of ineptitude at the tight end position has really killed this Bills team in many different facets.
What do you guys think about cornerback stuff? Who do you want to see take that job?
I'll let you know in a minute. I think Tyler Croft had that very, redeeming. Everyone talks about it as a huge, individual play. That's the same route he broke his foot on in training camp. Did you guys know that? But to Dave's point, the cornerbacks, I like Levi Wallace a lot. Honestly, Alabama product, a walk-on, eventually got a scholarship, became undrafted. This is a guy that's been doubted his whole career, and now he's a starter for the Buffalo Bills, the number 2 defense in the league. I expect Levi Wallace to hold that position.
I just want someone to own the job.
I think right now after that Pittsburgh game, Levi Wallace owns that job. He had that interception to seal the game. I know I called game on that Poyer interception, had to do a record scratch. Levi Wallace saved the game. So I think Levi Wallace owns that job. I don't think Kevin Johnson's completely out of the deal though. I don't think they hate the idea of having both those guys there. Depth is always great, especially in the NFL. That's how you stay healthy. You're able to rotate guys out. Don't let them get too broken down. Don't let their bodies deteriorate. That's huge, especially when Kevin Johnson went in for Trey White when he had that one play. Trey White missed one play. We made a big to-do about him getting hurt. He missed one play in the whole game on Sunday. Excuse me.
There's something to say about being able to rotate guys, and specifically at cornerback. I mean, wide receivers and cornerbacks, they play a very technical game. To kind of have that switched up on a wide receiver can definitely have some adverse effects. So I think that I don't have a problem with that.
I would say my player to watch is probably going to be Mitch Morse. He's going to need to make some big holes for Devin Singletary, and he's going to need to keep the pocket very clean for Josh Allen. This is a big offensive line game. I called them out last week. They really showed up. I'm not even going to lie. Holding the Pittsburgh Steelers to 1 sack is a huge move. I think Mitch Morse individually, not that he's down, he's got to keep that energy, keep the energy for that offensive line. Get ready for the playoffs. I think we're going to have a lot of short yardage situations where maybe we're doing quarterback sneaks. You got to keep the quarterback clean, especially now that you have a playoff spot clinched. The center is going to need to stay healthy, going to need to keep the quarterback healthy. This is where he's going to need to be perfect. Mitch Morse, keep it up. You are like the 4th or 3rd alternate for center in the Pro Bowl. You go for it, man. Go get him. Guys, score predictions, Dave. This is a long podcast, and I'm excited because, we got a couple extra days to listen.
Score predictions. I'm going to go with a very field goal type game. It is going to be cold, blistering cold actually in Foxboro. No snow though. I think that it's going to be 16-13 Buffalo. I think McDermott gets his first win. McDermott and Bean get the first win against Patriots. I think Hauschka is going to be very busy. I think Bills are going to struggle to get in the end zone. I think Brady's going to struggle to get in the end zone. Also, something we're not talking about is New England struggles at the kicking position right now. They have a guy that they cut, and they have a guy that just picked up. I don't know the name off the top of my head. It's okay. I think Hauschka is going to be very busy. I think the Bills win 16-13.
Jacob?
I think with me betting the over about 5 minutes ago, I think a safe assumption will be 24-17. Buffalo, of course. Wouldn't even dare.
I'm not even going to consider what I picked earlier because I don't feel like I need to do the math at the last second. I'm going to say that's probably going to be still correct. I'm going to go with 21 Bills. You guys are going to beat me up for this one. I say 11 for the Patriots.
I'm going to beat you up because you said a couple minutes ago, whoever wins will win by a touchdown.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I think it could go either way. I think the Bills, the more I talk about it, the more confident I get in the Bills. I think the Brady gets a 2-point conversion off a touchdown, and I think they go for a field goal. But I think the Bills win by 10. And I'm probably going to take that one to the bank. I feel like this is going to be a big John Brown, you stubbed me from the Pro Bowl, which listen, the three of us here, we are happy for Trey White. The Pro Bowl is definitely not what it used to be. I don't feel bad for guys that didn't get in because you'll probably get in just out of process of elimination at this point. But John Brown is a guy that we love here, we adore. I feel like he might have a chip on his shoulder because he's on the trajectory for his best career year. I feel like he's going to try to burn Stephon Gilmore, and I think Josh Allen's going to try to, let him have his day, if you will. So I think John Brown has a touchdown or two. I'm confident in John Brown again this week against Stephon Gilmore. I think he might even do it for Trey. A lot of talk going on. I don't know who's the best corner. Well, let's see that action, Gilmore.
Damn.
Also, Stephon Gilmore blocked me personally on Twitter, so screw him.
All right, Jake.
Jake,
take me home.
Guys,
charity.
It's the season of giving. For every subscriber that we get up until January 1st, we will be donating $5 to a local Buffalo charity. We are at, 971, whatever we are at. Get us to 1,000. Get us to 1,100. Get us to 1,200. We want to donate as much as possible to the local community. And if we think, hey, we didn't get enough, we obviously don't want to donate $100 and say, boom. We will be making our charitable contributions. Also, thank you for listening. Hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Thumbs up. Leave us a comment.
Leave your score predictions. Let us know what you think of what we said.
Still giving away that football that's signed.
Diamond Dave loves his comments. Listen to us on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, Podcast Addict. Whatever you got, we're there. Guys,
we'll see you Saturday night.
We're in the playoffs.
Saturday Night Live, maybe. Will we go live on Saturday?
I'm not doing it during the show, so we have to do it after or before.
That's fine. Saturday Night Live still.
It's going to be a late night, Jake.
Go Bills. This is a long podcast.